Hello, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. I got a new setup here and I'm having some difficulty with the microphones. So if you're out there and you can actually hear me, let me know. Anybody out there on the live stream? Hello. I'm going to need my glasses. So hello, Doug the Pied Piper. Oh, Terry the artist is here. Hi, Terry. Pipes and Bees, Portsmouth Piper. Can you guys hear me? Oh, you can. You can, Kathy. Thank you. Hey, Luke. How you doing? Hello, John from the UK. Good to see you. So we're getting started a little bit early. Hi, David. I've got this new large tablet that I'm using for the live stream, and my hope was, hello, Durham Duke. Good to see you. Portsmouth Piper. Glad to hear I'm coming through clear. Great. So I got this new tablet, which I was hoping was going to make the comments a little bit easier for me to read, but it turns out they seem to be actually smaller than what I had on my phone. So I'm going to have to lean in here and look a little bit better, and I'll probably have to keep the cheaters on the whole time. I also haven't figured out how to get my microphone working with it yet, so I'm using the tablet's microphone. Uh, Thanks, Terry. I'm glad you were able to join us. And Yardism's here. I'm sorry, guys. The things go away pretty quickly. Anyway, welcome. I'm glad you all have been able to make it. Bona Piper. Hello, Christian. Good to see you. You might recognize the pipe I'm smoking. Uh, so I hope you're all having a great day, great Saturday. Woke up this morning to the first real snow of the year so far. Hey, Jeff the chef. Good to see you. Hi, Robert. We're going to probably have about 3 inches by the end of the day, and I am not doing anything until tomorrow because I don't want to have to move the snow more than once, but we shall see. So I am finishing up some Stokeby Bullseye Flake in this really cool pipe that my friend Christian, the Bona Piper, gave me for Christmas. And this is a, correct me if I'm wrong here, Christian, Stan Nokowski. He's a Polish carver, and really beautiful. I like I like looking at briar grain. I mean, even if it's not like the classically beautiful grain, I just think briar is a beautiful wood. But I also like holding a rusticated pipe, so this is just the perfect balance for me. I'm really happy about that. Desert Pine Piper. Hello, Douglas Gorman. Got 3 inches? Oh, that's terrible, Jeff. It's when it refreezes like that. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Only 3 inches. Yeah, those old Canadian jokes. So, what are you guys? And any guys out there having a bowl now? And what are you smoking? What are you smoking it in? Hey, Goatman Stevie. Good to see you. Hello, Rick. Douglas is having some lane 1Q. Better you than me, Douglas. I'm glad you enjoy it. Luxury Navy Flake. That's good stuff. Ah, Desert Pine Piper's working on some estate stems. Stanwell with a Balkan Supreme. Sounds good, Olivewood Piper. Paul's having some Carter Hall in the Ashton Pebble grain. Very nice. Hello, Farrell Vincent. Welcome. Good old Carter Hall on a cob. You can't beat that. Bram de Brugen is having some Silham's Black. Oh, that Founding Fathers is good stuff, Christian. A lot of Carter Hall smokers. David Dixon. Chacom Spigot with aged Batley flag? Not familiar with that one. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, the cold is better. Captain Black and an Edwards. Can't beat that, I guess. Sounds good, Portsmouth Piper. Well, yeah, I had a cold earlier this week. Actually stretching back into last weekend, I guess. And it's a lot better. You can probably notice my lips are a little bit red. I got some chapped lip thing going on here, but I'm feeling a lot better. Today is the first day I've smoked in quite a few days, but my sinuses feel a lot clearer, and my taste is back, so I'm able to enjoy the pipe. Fishing pipe and some ready rubbed in a Grey Bro Westbrook. Sounds good. So, as you probably know, the plan is we're going to be doing a. It's interesting. The setup is very different here. Old dark fired, ready rubbed in a Rhodesian Stanwell. Sounds good, Kirk. Hey, Steve. Good to see you there. Best fishery. I've got a new setup here. If you didn't hear me at the beginning, it's a new Samsung tablet, and it seems to be working well. But I was hoping that with the larger screen, I'd be better able to see the comments scroll up, and it turns out that that's actually not true. It might have been easier to see them on my phone. But I am, if you tuned in late, I'm smoking this Stan Nokowski pipe that was a gift from my friend Bona Piper, and I'm smoking some Stokkebye's Bullseye Flake, and coming close to the end of the bowl. And we're going to do a giveaway today. Probably all saw the intro picture for that. I'll have to do a couple of advertisements for the giveaway as we go along here. But what I typically do, what I like to do is wait till about 45 minutes in. Shiny haunted bookshop. Sounds good. Sorry, Paul, I missed that. Have you ever tried to get rid of this ghost in my wet coffee grounds? No, I've never heard of wet coffee grounds being used to get rid of ghosts. I find that salt treatments followed by a retort is the best way. So for the giveaway, what we're going to do is we'll wait until we're 45 minutes in, and then we'll ask a question, and I'll say just the second correct answer. It'll be a different number, but and then I'll ask the question, and you guys put the answer in the comments, and whatever number I pick, that, if it was the second correct answer, will win the pipe. And the pipe is a Brigham. This is a relatively new pipe. I got it a few years ago. I've only smoked it maybe 4 times, and it's been completely cleaned and reamed. I mean, it's basically in an unsmoked condition, sanitized, retorted, all that kind of stuff. The pipe is designed to take the Brigham distillator filters, and I have a box of those for you. They come in a box of 8. There's 7 in here. One thing I have to say is that the filters don't actually fit in this pipe for some reason. I don't know if these come in different sizes, but these are a little bit longer than they need to be. But you can just clip the end off, and they work fine. So hopefully someone will win that pipe and enjoy it. It smokes fine. There's nothing wrong with the pipe. It just doesn't really fit with my collection. Coffee ground trick is a very effective method. Rinse with hot water. Well, that's interesting, Paul. Oh, so the filters don't fit in your Brighams either, Christian? That's interesting to know. Well, it's going to be a pipe related question, Farrell Vincent. So won't be too much unless it's pipe history. Oh, Dunhill Inner 2, that's a nice pipe. And Red Carpet is a really nice tobacco. Yeah, that's the problem, Christian. They're just a bit too long. So I think I've just about finished this pipe. Hey, Curmudgeon Piper, good to see you. And Jimmy Tabaki, good to see you, Jimmy. So I think we're gonna go with the Bing's favorite. And I'm slowly but surely getting rid of this. It's like I said before, there's nothing wrong with it. It's interesting, Christian. So even though it's an old Brigham, the filters still don't fit. This one is, I got it new, and it's only maybe about 4 years ago that I got it, so that's odd. Must be bad quality control. Yeah, this London blend, it's a perfectly fine tobacco. You know, I enjoy it. I'm perfectly happy to smoke it. It's just not exciting. You know, it just doesn't do anything for me. But I'm glad I got a chance to try it. So I asked for topics for today. Oh, glad it's working for you, Fishing Piper. Yeah, those Clipper lighters. If you guys didn't see my video the other day, these little things are amazing. They're Clipper med lighters is what they're called. And they're very robust. They light every time. They're refillable. You can change the flints. They're made of a really solid plastic. And they're about the same price as a Bic. And I really am glad I found these. So definitely worth checking out. Yeah, Paul, it's nice, but it's just kind of nice. It doesn't really do anything to. There's a lot of smoke apparently. So yeah, I had requested some topics, and I didn't like. I only got two, and I didn't like them. So one person wanted me to talk about legalization of marijuana, which I'm just not interested in, and the other person wanted me to talk about. Well, this one is actually interesting. You know, with the effect of the sort of new regulations around vaping are going to have on pipe smoking, and I guess there is something to be said about that because you know anytime there's regulations on any aspect of smoking, whether it's pipe, cigars, cigarettes, vaping, they're going to reach with a broader brush and they're going to try to get as much as they can. So we do have to be aware of that. And if there's opportunities to, you know, write our congressmen or senators for vaping regulation, we should do that. Not just because you don't vape and I don't vape doesn't mean that we shouldn't be engaged in that discussion because it could come back to bite us. Yes, Terry. There'll be more coming, more workshop videos. I've got. The sander problem got me. Hey, Couch, good to see you. The sander problem got me backlogged in work, and now I've got a bunch of pipes that I got to work on because I got people waiting for them. But I have a really cool project that I'm working on for a friend, and I don't want to give you too much information about it. But it's a very nice. It's going to be a cool project, something very different. And that'll be a workshop video. If you're old enough to die for your country, you should be able to smoke. Well, that makes sense to me. Yeah, I'm a bit of an Eagles fan, Classic Pipes. How'd you guess? Hey, Ralph, good to see you. Cliff, Rattray's Pipes. I've never actually owned a Rattray pipe, but I've worked on quite a few of them, and they seem to be good quality pipes, well drilled and well made. Paul says the Rattrays are made in France today. That's a question that gets commonly asked, Douglas. What would be a good tobacco to branch out from aromatics? So, in my opinion, the best way to move from aromatics is through some of the lightly aromatic burley blends, like Lane Ready Rubbed. You're still going to get some of that topping note. You're going to get some cocoa and things like that. But primarily, it's going to be a burley tobacco, and I think that's a good way to go. Other people will often recommend crossover Latakia blends. I'm not a fan of Latakia, so I pretty much would stick with things like Lane Ready Rubbed is really the one that comes to mind. Sure, there's some others. Anybody out there have any suggestions for that? Oh, Lane HGL is another good one. Thank you, Luke. I cannot identify the topping in the Lunding blend other than to say that it's a McBaron topping. Every McBaron blend that I've ever smoked has this flavor to it. And I don't know, it's honey-like is the best I can come up with. 301 Dutch Cavendish. I don't think I have tried that, Kirk. Yeah, I think it's honey, but there's something else going on in there, Christian. I don't know. But if you smoke a lot of McBarons, you start to realize that they all have a very similar top note. At least to my palate, they do. That yeah. C Sparks 56 as his first non-aromatic was Billy Bud, and he doesn't recommend it. I have to agree with you on that. It's a great blend, but not your first non-aromatic. No, it's Classic Pipes. It's not. If you're referring to the McBaron top note, it's not molasses. It's not. It doesn't have that sort of depth of sweetness to it. Um, I've had a lot of blends with molasses topping, and the McBaron, it's something more to the sweet honey side of things. Farrell Vincent's asking if I've ever smoked a pipe in a cigar lounge, and the answer is yes. I don't think that um, in any way is bad etiquette. What the way that I deal with that is I always go in. I always buy a cigar. Just walk in and smoke a pipe, I think would be bad form because it's a business and but I'll buy a cigar and then I will sometimes I'll smoke the cigar and then switch to pipes. Sometimes I'll just smoke pipes, um, and I've never had any issue with that. Of course, it will depend on the cigar lounge as well. It's probably a trade secret, Christian. Well, yeah, if Curmudgeon Piper says he jumped straight into Fusilier's Ration, which is a pretty heavy Latakia blend. And if that works for you, that's great. I mean, it's funny. I remember I went that route myself. You know, I went from smoking Captain Black to smoking English blends, and I loved them. And I just somewhere along the line lost my taste for Latakia. Yeah, pipes and bees. That's been my experience as well. They usually don't mind it. If there was such a thing as a pipe lounge and a cigar smoker came in, it might be a different story, but I doubt it. We're all pretty tolerant people. This McBaron London blend does have a really nice mouthfeel to it. It's the smoke is very creamy. So I like that. You sometimes get blends where it's really thin and just not as enjoyable in my opinion. Mm. And they're very good. It's a good question, Christian. He asked, "Does my wife have a favorite blend among those I smoke?" My wife is incredibly tolerant of my smoking, and she's only complained like once or twice. Sometimes if she's not feeling well, she doesn't, like me to smoke around her, and I understand that. But uh, it typically, like a really strong Latakia blend, will be a problem for her. Um, the one that's really been funny is when I smoke Three Nuns. Every time I smoke Three Nuns, and I tend to have a pipe in the morning. She'll still be in bed, and I'll be smoking a pipe, and she'll yell down at me, "Are you burning toast?" This happens a lot. So apparently, in her opinion, the smell of Three Nuns is the smell of burning toast. So I try to keep that one in the basement as well. But other than that, she really doesn't seem to mind them very much. And I don't smoke a lot of keys, so that's not been a problem. Yeah, these things favored are really great pipes. They smoke really well, and they're cool looking. Sean didn't know he was supposed to start with arrows. Yeah, it's just the way a lot of guys get sort of angled into it. It's you smell that pipe tobacco smell, and if you remember a grandfather smoking or something, you think it's supposed to smell like cherry or apple or whatnot, and that's just where you go. Yeah, I agree with you, Christian. We should not start with aromatics. I think we're doing ourselves a disservice because even high quality aromatics, you're not learning what the leaves taste like. I've told this story before, but my first tobacco, I went to a drugstore and I bought a Grabo and some Captain Black, the white pouch, and I smoked that for years. Uh, in that pipe, didn't know that I was supposed to have more than one pipe. Didn't know that there were other tobaccos, uh, and I wound up going into a tobacconist in Pittsburgh, and there was a old woman smoking a corncob pipe behind the counter who took me under her wing basically and told me there were two types of tobaccos. There's aromatics and there's English. You don't want to smoke the aromatics; they're no good. And she gave me a pouch of number 10 Downing Street, and I was off. And for a long time, I only smoked English blends. And that all changed. I mean, really, it was, I was kind of fooling around with Burley and stuff. And then I had, and I've talked about this as well, I wanted to order some blends from Cornell and Deal. And this was back in the early days of Cornell and Deal, where you had to call them to order. And I called, and Patty Tarler answered, and I said I'd like to order the stuff, and she said you can't order unless you talk to Craig. And then Craig got on the phone, and he talked to me for, God, a good 30, maybe 45 minutes, and he wouldn't let me order what I wanted to order. He changed my order quite a bit. He let me order what he thought I would enjoy, and he really opened my eyes to Burley tobaccos, and I've never looked back from there. Yeah, Paul, there is some really questionable engineering in the Bing. The the stem is just very, very thin, and it it's a it's very, very likely that you're going to crack this shank, or you're going to crack the tenon on the pipe if you're not careful. Um, so just be careful if you have one. Mark, have I ever released a video showing how to clean an estate meerschaum pipe? I don't think so, Mark. I have a video on a Kiko, which is a meerschaum lined pipe, and I think that at least for the internal stuff, it's going to be similar. Uh, Meerschaums are, in my opinion, fairly specialized, and I don't do a lot of work on them. I'll do a tenon replacement on a meerschaum, but anything that needs like external cleaning, I'd rather let someone that has expertise in meerschaum pipes deal with that. Dwight, yes, I do work on stems. I do quite a bit of work on stems. Does Coniston cut plug really count as an aromatic? That's a strong Lakeland, isn't it? Yeah, Paul, it's easy to crack the shank on some of those thinner pipes, and if that's the shell briar you were telling me about, they do crack a bit easier. Yeah, I don't know if Lakelands are aromatics. I mean, it's semantics really, but I just I kind of put Lakelands in their own category, and it's a category that I'm afraid of, and I don't smoke. Oh, okay. C Spark 56. How did Peretti number 8 stack up against McBaron H&H Burley Flake or Solani Age Burley Slice? It stacked up well. It wasn't the same, but it was good. Uh, Both of those have more burley in them. The number 8 has a fair amount of Virginia in it, if I'm remembering it correctly. So you get sort of a deeper burley flavor from the burley flake or the aged burley, but the Peretti number 8 slices was very good stuff. Oh, that's unfortunate yardism. The the bowl that wasn't a very good bowl coating then if it was peeling off. Yep, that's the trick, Terry. Just got to treat it gently. Thank you. What's up, mate? You know, I enjoy doing these, but I don't think I want to do more than one a month. It just, to be honest, I just don't know if I can keep the conversation going long enough. I feel like it lags a bit sometimes, and I'd like to tie it into a giveaway. I think that I like doing the giveaways. I want to. So I've thought for a long time that there's a large group of people out there that are just watching the videos or just commenting on videos that don't get to partake in these giveaways. And that's unfortunate because they're the people that are the majority of my audience. More than half of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. So but I appreciate their views and I appreciate the time that they take to do that. And then of course most of my subscribers are not making videos. So I want to have some ability to do something to thank people. And this is what I've come up with. So to have these little giveaways once a month, and I'd like to just keep it to the live stream and keep the live streams to once a month because of that. Yeah, Cliff, it is getting hard to keep track of everyone. So I'll just give you a reminder. We're about 32 minutes in, so 45 minutes or so. We're going to do a giveaway, and that giveaway is going to be this Brigham, lightly smoked maybe 4 times, fully cleaned and sanitized, ready for you to smoke. And along with it will come a box of 7 rock maple distillator filters that go in the Brigham pipe. You have to trim these a bit to get them to fit, but they do work just fine. Thanks, Terry. Yeah, I do like the shape. I just, for some reason, it just hasn't been a pipe that I've reached for over the years, and I'd rather get it to somebody out there that'll enjoy it. Well, that's an interesting question, Kathy. So do some blends smoke better depending on the size of the bowl? And I think that's very true. Not so much the depth of the bowl, but the width of the bowl. So I really like a wide bowl, like a pot shape for burleys, and a more narrow, and even like something like this pipe here that is clearly much taller for Virginia's. Just seems to work better. I also prefer this type of bowl for a lot of Kia blends, uh, but that doesn't seem to make as much a difference. But for me, smoking a burley in this pipe just doesn't work very well, and smoking a Virginia in more of a pot shape is just not as enjoyable. But I think there's a lot of personal taste that we bring to those things. Hey, Danny, I'm going to ask a question for the giveaway, and I'll explain it when we get to that. Yeah, Luke, that would be an interesting video. Maybe somebody will do that. My pleasure, Douglas. I'm glad you're finding it helpful. Hello, Lone Star Piper. So, you want to see a pipe I'm working on? I got an interesting problem that I can share with you. You might find it interesting. So this is a pipe from my friend Brian. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. This is a G Court, and G Court was a small carver. He was well known for his freehands, and this is definitely a freehand, but he also tended to do little carvings on the freehands. You can see some of that there. Really beautiful little pipe. And the problem was that the tenon broke on the pipe, so this is the original stem there, but it broke. Now, it was, making a replacement stem was no problem, but the mortise hole was actually really out of round. It was very oval in shape, and it still looks oval now, but that's because of the way it's drilled. So there's a little divot down there from the drilling of the airway. But I have re-rounded this, and to do that I had to, I can't put this on a lathe anyway because there's no way to clamp it. So I had to put it on the drill press, and I needed to make sure that I got absolutely square going down there. So I had to get a bit inventive, and let's just reach behind me here. I built this monster, and what this is it's made of MDF. It's just a MDF frame. There's some leather-lined jaws here, and I can tighten and loosen them with these wing nuts. They ride on these brass rods to keep everything straight. And then with this wing nut, I can loosen this and change the angle of it. So this whole thing clamps down to my drill press table. I can clamp the shank of the pipe in here and adjust it side to side and back and forth, clamp it down and drill it perfectly straight. And I was able to do that. I just increased the, I think it might have only been like 2/32 of an inch, but it was enough to get that back into round, and now I can make a tenon that'll fit that. Oh, Cliff, I wouldn't go that far. Goatman Stevie asks, what are my favorite pipe shapes? Honestly, I like a classic billiard. I think they're light enough to clench. They stay out of the way. I just enjoy them. They don't gurgle. They're easy to smoke. After that, I think still a straight, but a pot. Yeah, so straight billiards or pots. Those are my favorites. April 25th, Boswell meetup on April 25th. That sounds like a good idea. Thank you. What's up, mate? I appreciate that. Norm Abrams of the YTPC. Thanks, Curmudgeon Piper. Hey, Simon, good to see you. So we're at 38 minutes right now. Let's see. This is my Bari pipe, which I got from Danny Shore, and this is one of those pots that I enjoy. This pipe, I've probably smoked it now maybe, I don't know, 15 or 20 times, and it still hasn't really become mine yet. It's slowly getting there, but it hasn't really gotten broken in yet. Oh, Simon, it's not as neat and tidy as it could be, believe me. and you're only seeing one small corner of it. So I think we're going to have some, I'll take out my pouch of Haunted Bookshop. It's been a running joke that I never get it out of the bag when it arrives. But I have, the past few pounds that I bought, I've gotten one or two jars into the cellar, so I'm proud of that. And what I'll do later is I've got an old Carter Hall, what do you call those things, tub, that I'll put this in. It just arrived yesterday. And whatever doesn't fit will go into a jar. It's back over here. I don't make pipes, Goatman Stevie. Haven't gotten into that. Uh, I don't know if that would work, Pipes and Bees. He suggested I buy a pound and tell my wife to hide it. I mean, that would just delay things by about a month. Hey, Eric, good to see you. All's well here. Yeah, it's funny how some pipes, like that pipe I was smoking at the beginning, uh, that Bona Piper gave me, I've probably smoked it about 5 times now, and it's starting to feel right. It's starting to feel like one of my pipes. This one is taking a lot longer. And I don't really know what, there's nothing obvious about it that I can point to. Guys, if that Boswell's meetup is going to be on a weekend, I would really love to try to make it. I got to work during the week. It's a Saturday? Fantastic. Oh, Kathy, I feel the same way sometimes. It's amazing how much information is out there on pipes, and it's great that we're all sharing it because it's going to get lost otherwise. Um, but yeah, the whole YouTube pipe community is a great resource for learning about pipes. So, is there a plan for anyone to video that Boswell meetup? That'd be cool. Very cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. YouTube channel called Pipe Club. I'll have to check that out. What's up, mate? Ralph, it's a screw at the bottom. You need a little screwdriver, and you unscrew the white part. He's asking about the uh, how to get the bottom off of the tube, the flint tube on the med lighters. I have not seen those, Terry. But Boswell's definitely got a very unique aesthetic. All right, well, we're coming up on 45 minutes, and I think we'll go ahead and do the giveaway if nobody is opposed to that. Have I ever paired a milkshake with a cigar? I don't think so. Boy, when Latakia is a palate cleanser, that's quite a blend. All right, so one last time, we're going to be giving away this Brigham pipe. This is a lightly smoked pipe. I'm the original owner. I probably smoked it about 4 times. I cleaned it, sanitized it. It's ready to go. and it accepts, you can smoke it without a filter, but it accepts these Brigham rock maple distillator filters, and I'm including a box of 7 of those. You do have to trim the filters off. They're about maybe a 1/4 inch too long. I don't know why. So you'll have to trim them if you want to use them. But again, you can smoke it without the filter if you like. Okay, so the way we'll do this is I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to say the number X correct answer will win. And you guys will answer the question, and then the winner will have to send me their contact information, their mailing information at my email address, which is CaneRodPiper@gmail.com. Okay? So, are we ready? So we're going to take the 4th correct answer to this question. What sort of tobacco is made with either burley or Virginia leaf, is heat treated with fire or steam, and then subject to heavy pressure to produce a sweet taste and moist texture? 1, 2, 3. Yardism. Cavendish is correct, and Yardism was the 4th person to choose Cavendish. So congratulations. Yeah, we got a lot of Cavendishes rolling in now, but unfortunately, we've already hit the number 4. So fantastic, Chad. Congratulations. If you would just please send me an email to CaneRodPiper@gmail.com with your address. I'll get that in the mail to you early next week. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and if you can think of other ways that I can do the live giveaway, I'd love to know about it. This is the best way that I've come up with. Somebody suggested I somehow assign a number based on when you log on and all. And I don't know of any way to do that. But I think the question is a good way to do it, and I enjoy it. I'll try to dumb down the question next time, Cliff. And I'm just glad that it's open to everybody. Everybody's got a chance to win. Oh, I didn't know that, Chad. Well, that's we got to talk sometime, because I'm a lifelong Eagles fan. Was born in Philadelphia in the late '60s, and don't remember a time when I wasn't an Eagles fan. Thank you, Terry. It doesn't surprise me, Luke, but it's better than being a Browns fan. Desert Pine Piper has a very specific question for next time. Yeah, hopefully they'll make some good on that. Topics you want to discuss? Glad you enjoy it, Cliff. My favorite all-time pipe. That's a tough one, Terry. I'm thinking. I mean, honestly, I don't have a. I don't think I have a favorite all-time pipe. Yeah, Jimmy, I got 20/20 vision for distance, but not up close. I got to wear the readers for reading. My main shaping tool for stems. So, Simon, it depends really. I use a lot of things for shaping stems. I use a belt sander to sort of get the rough shape in, and then a lot of files. I use these Swedish files. I forget the name of the company, but they're Swedish made, and they start at zero. I think I use a 0, 0, and a 0 for most of the shaping, and then it's sandpaper, emery boards, all sorts of things. Whatever fits the purpose. So it's no real simple answer that I can give. But the main shaping I do on that belt sander that you probably saw me repairing in previous videos. Oh, sorry, the stream's dropping out a bit. Sorry about that. We're going to wind up soon, though. Nothing I could really do here. Take care, Curmudgeon Piper. Uh, yeah, it's a good point. Someone just said that anyone watching without a keyboard couldn't participate, and I don't actually know if that's true. Can you comment on your phone? How about shaping the curve from wide to thin on a low out stem, say? Uh, yeah, I'm gonna mostly do that by hand, Simon, using files. Oh, so Yardism's one using a phone, so it is possible to play without a keyboard. Okay, good to know. I mean, the truth is, there's not going to be any way to make everybody happy, so we'll do our best. Using a drum sander to get the curve to pretty good effect for a beginner. Yeah, I've used like drum sanders that you can mount in a drill press sometimes for like a saddle stem, and I've actually gotten to the point where I prefer to use chainsaw files, which are round files, just because I can kind of sneak up on it more easily, and I don't mind taking the extra time. Uh, but the drum sanders work fine. But to get long sweeps, you really need something like I use a 1-inch belt sander, and that lets you kind of glide along, whereas a drum sander is going to keep making little divots as you move along, so it's going to be harder to control. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. But I saw, would I ever consider making an alternative stem for a 7LA Roma 320 in tortoise? Sure, sure. I mean, it would have to be an acrylic tortoise, but yeah. Yeah, I can make just about any stem in any material. Sure thing, Simon. Thanks for joining us. It's Piper, CaneRodPiper@gmail.com. Yeah, so the way I deal with that is simple. I charge an extra $5 for an acrylic stem. So an ebonite stem is $40, an acrylic stem is $45. It's harder to work the acrylic. It's funny, the benefit of acrylic is that it buffs out a lot easier, so you don't have to do as much fine sanding as you do on ebonite, but it's much harder to shape. Hey Rob, good to see you. I hate Peterson P-lips too. I don't know why anybody likes them, but there are people that like them. Um, I don't think so, Monty Piper. I think I'd rather go the route of making a new stem than trying to convert a P-lip into a standard stem. I just don't think you'd have enough meat there to shape the button. These mugs are amazing. I got it from Woodcraft. It's a double walled aluminum mug. I've been down here for like an hour and 15 minutes now, and this coffee's still hot. Yeah, Peterson pipes. So somebody asked earlier what my favorite pipes are. I have a couple of Peterson Irish seconds that I bought in my early days of pipe smoking, and I love those because they're some of the first real pipes that I bought. Well, I shouldn't say real pipes, but the first non-drugstore pipes that I bought. They're not straight; they're bent, so I don't smoke them as much as I used to because I just don't enjoy the bent pipes anymore, or at least not as much as I used to. But those pipes smoked fantastic, and they were Peterson seconds. Uh, I don't own any Petersons, but I've worked on a lot of them, and I can tell you that the older Petersons are fantastically made pipes. The newer ones, I don't know what's happened, but the quality control at Peterson has really dropped off over like the past 5 or 8 years. The finishes are spotty. The drilling is not very good. It's really surprising with how much they've changed. But I'm sure they still do make some good quality pipes. Thanks, Cliff. Good of you to stop by. So two questions. Do you have to rest them more to or burn resistant? I don't. I think you should probably rest them as much as you rest a briar pipe. And have I ever done work on meerschaum? I've only done like new tenons for meerschaum pipes. I don't work on the meerschaum itself, just replacing the tenons if necessary. Yeah, the drilling is often the issue. Take care, Luke. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, the drilling and also the finish. The finish on Peterson just has not been good lately. All right, Douglas, you take care. Well, guys, my bowl's coming to an end here, and I don't have anything else pressing to talk about unless you guys do. So we'll do a last round of questions. Oh, is that so, Paul? That's good to know. All right, C Spark, take care. Hey, Scott, good to see you. Um, Pipe Club channel. I'll take a look at that, and everybody that's watching, check out Pipe Club on YouTube. What's Up Mate says he's got a really good channel. So I think it was Paul that said that the Peterson quality control has improved since Ladasi took over, which is good to know. Straight burley blends to recommend. Sorry, got an alarm going off here. All right, Kathy, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yep, got two good recommendations there: C&D Cube Cut Burley and H&H Burley Flake. Both very good. Straight burleys. Can you put a rubber stem in boiling water to get some dents out? Maybe, but you're probably going to get a lot of oxidation. You'd be better off using a heat gun or even a hair dryer to try to heat it, or just very carefully hold it over a candle flame. Uh, the water will tend to create oxidation. Pipe stems oxidize for two reasons. They're wet and they're exposed to ultraviolet light. So if you are careful to wipe down your stem after each use and keep a little bit of oil on it, mineral oil on it, you'll greatly reduce the amount of oxidation that you get. Scott's asking if I know of anything similar to McBaron Golden Extra. I do not. Does anyone else out there? Baron Symphony, London Blend. Do they still make Symphony? I thought that was one of the ones that they stopped. Ah, good to know. You know, the McBaron, I've had McBaron Symphony. It's very good stuff. It does have that honey top note. Expound on C&D Epiphany a little, thanks. Um, it's good stuff. It's not one of my favorite tobaccos, to be honest, but I've smoked it. It's a Cordell and Deal blend. It's an attempt to match what is it? Revelation, I think, was the original blend. Um, I've never smoked the original Revelation, so I can't say how close the match is. But yeah, it's good. That's about all I can say about it. My favorite Boswell, I haven't really had a lot of Boswell blends, to be honest. I've had Northwoods, which is it's good stuff. Um, I'm trying to remember, there was some train or something from them. But I haven't really had enough to say that I've got a favorite. Lone Star Piper is an Epiphany fan, so you can expound on it then. Railroad Station, is that what it was called? I'll have to try it. I didn't know Boswell had a straight burley, but I'll have to try it. Is it an untopped straight burley? Thanks, Ralph. Good of you to stop by. Yeah, Paul, I got to try those new Amphora blends, and I just keep forgetting to add them to my cart. Boswell's best. I have had that. I have had that, and that's quite good. Yeah, I yeah, yeah, I get that. Boswell is known for their aromatics, and I'm not an aromatic smoker, although I've sort of come to appreciate them more in over the past few years, if they're well made aromatics. So I'm gonna have next time I go there, I'm gonna have to sample a few of the aromatics and see if they're up my alley. I'm looking forward to trying them, Paul, and I'll definitely let you know. Well, guys, I'm down to the bottom of this bowl, and I think we've had about as much fun as we can have for for one day. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I hope you all have a great weekend ahead. I won't be joining you tomorrow morning. We'll just call this the weekend chat. But I'll catch up with you again next week. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and have a great weekend. Bye all.